Have you ever stopped to think about how a single, simple word can completely change the way you feel about something? Well, today we're going to explore just that. How everyday bumps and scrapes can actually teach us some really powerful words, turning these little accidents into some pretty big moments of understanding. So let's get into it. So meet Luna. She's going to be our guide today. We're going to follow her story, and it's a great way to see how the small physical mishaps that every curious kid has can unlock a whole new vocabulary, a vocabulary that really helps make sense of the world around us.
You know, we're going to see how each of Luna's little accidents becomes a lesson in language. And it's pretty amazing because it arms her with the exact words she needs to describe what she's feeling. Let's see how her day plays out.
Okay, part 1. And our first lesson begins exactly where you'd expect, in a moment of pure, joyful, just running around and playing. You can almost feel it, right? That feeling of freedom, running full tilt, the surprise of the fall, and then that sharp shock of impact. It's something we've all been through, but what's the right word for what happened next?
And that result, it has a very specific name. She didn't just cut her leg, she gashed it. See the difference? The word gashed. It just sounds bigger, deeper. It tells you right away this was more than a little scratch. That word has weight.
And just listen to how she describes it before she has the word for it. My leg opened. It's so literal, so honest. And that's exactly why having the right word is so powerful. It closes that gap between a raw feeling and actually getting someone else to understand it. So here's the easy way to remember it. Gashed equals deep and open. It creates a really precise picture in your mind. Okay, now let's look at a totally different kind of injury. Ah, yes, the classic battle, human versus furniture. I mean, we've all lost this one at some point. It's that short, sharp, and shockingly painful moment. And I love how simply this puts it. The chair won. Yep, it usually does. Now, this is totally different from the gash, right? This isn't a wound on the surface. The injury is internal. So the word fractured tells us something actually broke, even if it's just a tiny little crack underneath the skin. And again, Luna's description just hits the nail on the head. It hurts deep inside. This isn't that sharp sting of an open cut. It's a deep, kind of radiating ache. Her words perfectly capture the feeling that the technical term defines. It's amazing. So let's put it together. If gashed is deep and open on the outside, fractured is a tiny break on the inside. Two completely different injuries, and now we have two very precise words for them.
As Luna's day keeps going, so do her lessons in language. Let's check in on what happens next.
Oh, I love the way this is phrased, until a bubble cried. It's such a gentle, almost poetic way to describe something that's just annoying. This isn't one of those sudden injuries. It's something that builds up slowly, from all that rubbing and friction. And that little bubble, well, it has a name, a blister. The word blistered describes what happened because of that friction. But here's the really cool part. A blister is actually your body trying to protect you. It's making its own little fluid-filled cushion to protect the skin underneath. Pretty smart. So instead of being all about the pain, Luna's reaction is just pure curiosity. It feels squishy. And this is such a key idea. When you can name something, when you understand what it is, you can turn that fear into just fascination. Okay, this next one's a little bit more mysterious. The cause and the effect, they don't happen at the same time. There's this delay, and then the body reacts. The skin spoke. What a fantastic way to put it. So her skin wasn't cut or broken, it reacted. And the word rashed is perfect for this situation. It describes that surface-level irritation, that outward sign that your skin is not happy about something it touched. And Luna's words give us the exact sensory details we need, itchy and bumpy. That's the feeling, and rashed is the name for it. It's a perfect match between the experience and the word. For our last lesson, it's not from an outside injury at all, but a feeling that's completely internal. And wow, this metaphor of a drum is just so good. It perfectly captures that rhythmic, pulsing kind of pain. Boom, boom.
That rhythmic pain, we call that throbbing. It's not sharp like a gash or itchy like a rash. It's a beat. You know, the word itself, throbbed, it even has a rhythm to it. You can almost feel that pulse when you say it.
And here, Luna uses a word that means pretty much the same thing, pounding, which really drives the meaning home. Both throbbed and pounded describe that specific internal ache that comes in waves.
So, after a day of gashes and fractures and blisters and throbbing, what's the real takeaway from Luna's story? Well, it all comes down to the hidden power we unlock just by having the right words. It really boils down to this. Every single ache has a name. And when you give a name to a feeling, whether it's a gash on your leg or a throbbing headache, you take away some of its power to scare you. It turns a vague, scary sensation into something real, something understandable, something you can deal with. Words really do give us power over our own experiences.